Round one. Ready, go! Knockout! Round two. Ready, go! Knockout! Round three. Ready, go! Knockout! Round four. Ready, go! Knockout!
You're no match for me.
Round one. Ready, go! Knockout! Round two. Ready, go! Knockout! Round three. Ready, go! Knockout! Round four. Ready, go! Knockout! Round five. Ready, go! Knockout!
You're no match for me.
you ready for this? Here comes my suplex.
Round one. Ready, go!
Burning hammer!
Knockout! Round two. Ready, go! Excellent! Round three. Ready, go! Knockout! Round four. Ready, go! Knockout!
Wrestling is the ultimate sport.
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go!
Take that! Yup, yup, yup. Ta! Ha ha ha! Ta! Yup, ha! Take! Ha! Yup, ha! Yup, ha! Yup, ha! Yup, ha!
Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go!
Take that! Yup, ha! Yup, ha! Ta! Take that! Huh! Huh! Tuh, 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 tuh. Take! Yup! Ta! Ha ha ha! Ta! Yup! Ha! Take! Yup! Take!
Knockout!
Take! Yup! Yup! Ha! Well, it was ridiculous.
Round one. Ready, go! Knockout! Round two. Ready, go! Come on! Knockout! Round three. Ready, go! Knockout! Round four. Ready, go! Knockout! Round five. Ready, go! Knockout!
"あなたにはクンフーが足りないわ。
Round one. Ready, go! Knockout! Round two. Ready, go! Knockout! Round three. Ready, go! Knockout!
I won't lose!
Round one. Ready, go! Knockout! Round two. Ready, go! Knockout! Round three. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 4. Ready, go! Knockout!
次に会うまでにはっもっと強くなってね。
Now, 2024 wasn't necessarily a huge year for AAA games, but boy did it deliver when it comes to the types of games I really enjoy, so expect plenty of quirky titles on this list. It comes with the usual caveat, there's still games I want to play that I haven't had time to tackle just yet, so consider this the best games of 2024 that I personally played this year kinda list. But without further ado, let's get into it. This is Devil Blade Reboot, a remake of a game from 1996 that...
Round 1. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 2. Ready, go! Knockout! Round 3. Ready, go! Knockout!
Most people likely have never played. Created by Takehiro Shiga, known for his work on numerous Vanillaware games, Shiga-san has been working on this game for nearly 7 years, but its history is far deeper than you might expect. You see, the original Devil Blade was created using something called Desiamon, a piece of software for game consoles that allowed users to essentially create shooting games. Shiga-san first created Devil Blade using the PlayStation version of Desiamon, but the software itself dates back to the Famicom era, and Shiga-san even created a version of Devil Blade for the Famicom almost 10 years ago, after which he began working on Devil Blade Reboot itself. With professional experience now under his belt, Shiga-san built this game in his spare time over the course of the last 6 or 7 years, and the result is honestly phenomenal. Despite the upgrades, Reboot genuinely feels like a game that could have existed on real consoles from the 90s. The visuals offer this beautiful mix of 2D pixel art, 3D graphics, and lots of sprite and background scaling. Everything moves seamlessly between stages and it just feels epic. The visual design here is phenomenal. Most importantly, it plays like a dream. This feels like an early 90s shooter as opposed to a bullet hell shooter, something I'm not a huge fan of. Shiga-san keeps it simple. You have just 2 weapons, a focused shot and a spread shot, and you can switch between them at any time. When focused, you move at a slower speed, making it easier to dodge. The main mechanic here is called Berserk, which basically boosts your multiplier based on distance to the enemy as you destroy them. Kill them up close and you get more points. The key here is that everything is laid out before the player in a very simple, clear way, making it easy to focus in and find the fun. This is what kept me coming back for more. It's a very learnable game and one you'll want to master. Of course, as required for any great shooter, the soundtrack is also exceptionally good. Take a listen.
God, this
Now, this is not a terribly long game, but what's here is an absolute blast to play, and it just looks and sounds amazing while doing it. This is why Devil Blade Reboot comes in at number 11.
We may struggle with fear and anxiety, but we shape our own destiny. With our own hands. Crush you!
Attack in any number.
What do you get if you combine classic top-down Zelda-style game design with something like Geometry Wars or Robotron? Is a question that nobody had asked until indie developer Soul Game came along and answered it with Mini Shoot Adventures. If you're not familiar with Soul Game, this small team got its start back on new grounds and has since graduated on to great things. Mini Shoot Adventures is their latest and best game. At its core, it's a top-down action RPG that has players conquering a series of dungeons while finding heart containers, beating bosses, finding power-ups, and obtaining new abilities that then allow you to access previously inaccessible areas. The difference here, though, you control a small ship instead of a character. It's a simple twist on the surface, but what makes it so special is the execution. You move around with the left stick, shoot with the right. It very much plays like a dual-stick arcade-style game, and all the combat is built around this concept, dodging enemies and dealing with bullet patterns. It's a combination I can't say I've really experienced before, but it works. The level design, the puzzles, dungeons, and slow rollout of power-ups is extremely satisfying, and as with any Zelda game, slowly uncovering the world becomes rather addictive. By shifting the combat to dual-stick shooting, though, it also means that enemy encounters are completely unlike anything you've seen in similar action RPGs. It just means it feels fresh. Plus, there's a hefty level of challenge too. Everything is wrapped in a beautiful, smooth presentation with a fantastic soundtrack. I had a wonderful time playing through this game. It's perfect for Steam Deck as well, and can even run at arbitrary frame rates, so 90 FPS on the Steam Deck OLED, you can do it. Ultimately, the unique design and smooth gameplay helped ensure that Mini Shoot Adventures came in at number 10. Stellar Blade is one of the surprise highlights of 2024 for me. Developed by Shift Up in Korea, Stellar Blade feels like a love letter to PS2 era action games with a fresh coat of paint, which is precisely what I love about it. It bears many similarities to something like Nier Automata on the surface, yet still manages to feel like its own unique thing. It's a super smooth, slick action game taking place across a wide range of locales situated within the ruins of Earth. This is not an open world game, however, instead following a linear series of stages with visits to a central hub world between them. Each environment that you explore has its own unique vibe and atmosphere to soak in, and the boss fights are always a treat. They did a great job of mixing up mechanics from time to time as well, such as segments where you're forced to rely exclusively on your gun. What won me over in the end really comes down to the blend of satisfying yet streamlined combat mechanics, rewarding exploration, amazing atmosphere, superb music, and excellent visuals. Just running around the world feels great, and the world itself is pretty engaging. It's a sad, lonely place that also happens to feel beautiful at the same time. Crucially, the level design is a highlight. That feeling of slowly unraveling each environment, opening shortcuts, and gradually getting to grips with the layout is always satisfying, and Stellar Blade really shines in that area. It's also a beautiful game that targets and delivers a smooth 60 FPS, and of course the soundtrack is simply phenomenal. Stellar Blade is certainly not an original concept, but in my mind that also doesn't really matter. This feels like an earnest attempt at making a gosh darn great video game, and to that end, I had to put it on my list this year, which is why it comes in at number 9.
Are you prioritizing strength at the gym? Green Chef has got you covered. One thing I like to make sure of is that I'm focusing on a high protein diet, as protein is essential to support strength goals by aiding muscle growth and recovery. Green Chef takes away all the stress, and I don't have to worry.
Round one. Ready, go!
Grand Blue Fantasy Reeling makes a surprise appearance on my game of the year list this year. Going into 2024, it's not a game that was especially high on my anticipated list, given the development difficulties and mobile roots of the franchise.
Knockout!
Yet Relink is an entirely different beast. It's a full-blown, large-scale action RPG brimming with
Round
great
two.
characters, beautiful
Ready,
worlds to explore,
go!
talented boss battles, and surprisingly great cooperative multiplayer. I didn't know anything about this franchise going into it, but now I'm eager to explore what I missed. The first thing that grabbed me is fundamentally the theme itself. I love the concept of exploring the land above the clouds. It's what drew me to games like Skies of Arcadia back in the day, and Grand Blue is entirely based on this concept. The story has heroes moving between islands, floating across the great skies. It's packed
Round
with
three.
lots of dialogue,
Ready,
cutscenes, and
go!
beautifully directed sequences with great camera work and super smooth transitions directly into gameplay. Apparently, this even uses Cygame's own internal engine, and honestly, I'm really impressed given how smooth and consistent everything is. What I really love, though, is how brisk and streamlined the game is. This isn't an open world title, rather. Everything is kind of moved forward in a linear fashion, yet there's more to this game than first meets the eye. You see, there's also an online co-op mode, it's a separate thing really, something that kind of reminds me of Monster Hunter multiplayer.
Knockout!
This mode even expands once you complete the main story. The key here is that you basically have both a brisk, super
Round four.
enjoyable main story
Ready,
entirely for single
go!
player, in addition to a massive 4-player co-op mode. It's a fantastic combination. The main story, brisk though it may be, is packed with variety of scenarios and battles. The basic combat is action-based, but long life bars on enemies ensure that battles are decidedly RPG. Sometimes it can even go a little bit long. Yet, at times, the game presents these super cool unexpected twists. One of my favorites is this giant golem that rises up from the desert. It has multiple phases. You start by approaching its legs from below. This kind of reminded me of something like Shadow of the Colossus. While doing so, you need to climb up onto the legs, break your way inside, and destroy the targets here from the ground. Then you have a chance to grab a mounted weapon at some point after it falls from an airship above, which you then use to attack specific weak points on the golem. Eventually, though, it falls to the ground, allowing you to climb onto its body and run your way all the way up top, where you then take it down from above. It's just an epic sequence. Everything then is brought together with gorgeous, well-animated artwork and an epic soundtrack.
I won't lose! Round one. Ready, go!
I know my list has been rather retro-centric, but honestly, Grand Blue really does feel like a spiritual successor to a game you might have found on Dreamcast or PlayStation 2. It's a perfect fusion of new and old. That's why it
Round
comes
two.
in at number 8.
Ready, go!
Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. Sit locked in next summer with full 60 deposit per person and spend Spread the cost
Excellent!
with our flexible monthly payments. Book now with Jet2 Holidays.
Round 3. Ready, go!
My time is here!
Knockout!
This is Anton Blast, one of the wildest over-the-top
What a
2D
knucklehead.
platformer games I've played since, well, Pizza Tower. As a fan of Nintendo's Wario Land series, Anton Blast is at its core a spiritual successor to that series, much like Pizza Tower before it, yet despite that, it manages to feel even more demented and fresh in just the right way, offering additional variety and a wide range of play mechanics on top. On the surface, the game follows the design of later Wario
Are
Land
you
games.
ready for this?
You make your way through a level, reach the goal, and race back to the start.
Here comes my
point.
suplex.
But what makes it
Round
special
1.
really is the quality
Ready,
of the overall design
go!
and execution here. Plus the absurdity of everything. You see, the level design itself is simply outstanding, with a great blend of high-speed sections, vertical ascent, mild puzzle solving, and plenty of bespoke gimmicks.
Knockout!
The core mechanics themselves have a bit of a learning curve, but there are those who master the sublime platforming goodness.
Round 2.
You always feel just
Ready,
almost out
go!
of control, yet eventually you learn how to beat it. This is key because I feel like that's what makes the action so rewarding. The feedback is also fantastic, and there's lots of
Excellent!
allowing you to essentially smash apart large chunks of the stage. The aesthetic itself can only be
Round
described
3.
as deranged
Ready,
pixel art, with
go!
weird angles and strange designs combined with unusual colors.
Did you play, did you ever play Capcom CK2? Yeah.
Knockout!
Yo, my man, what's up? What's good with you?
Round 4. Ready, go!
Can we drop the shout out from Homie Dragon? The fighters, what's up, bro?
Knockout!
Check out Dragon,
Wrestling
guys.
is
This
the
guy
ultimate
is
sport.
one of the best Virtua Fighter 5 players out there. This man has won tournaments. This man has won tournaments in Virtua Fighter 5. Check him out, guys. Please show your love. Show your love for Dragon, guys. This man is I've watched him body the fucking I've watched him body people on Virtua Fighter 5 on PS4. Show him some love, guys. Thanks for coming in, Dragon. How you been, dude? Had him. I fucking had him. I fucking had him, man.
yet it also manages to feel surprisingly cohesive and to the point where it almost seems like a game that could have existed on classic retro hardware, versus something like Pizza Tower, which has more of an MS Paint aesthetic intentionally. All this is combined with a soundtrack that I would say is comprised almost entirely of bangers.
Round one.
So yeah, what can I say?
Ready,
This
go!
is just high energy, addictive platforming goodness of the best variety, and I freaking love it. It feels more familiar yet fresh at the same time, and most importantly, it is always fun, which is why it comes in at number 7.
Knockout. Round two. Ready, go! Knockout. Round three. Ready, go! Knockout.
Coming out of nowhere at the tail end of 2024, Parking Garage Rally Circuit is one of the most addictive and streamlined little games I've played in quite a while. You all know I'm a huge fan of arcade racing games and have long lamented their slow disappearance from the marketplace, but games like this give me some hope. Conceptually, it is rather different from your typical arcade racer though. Instead of taking on racetracks and opponents, every course in the game is essentially built around a parking garage, kinda like Club Drive for the Atari Jaguar to some extent, only actually good. You'll race against ghosts, which represent different metal tiers, and after you beat them, there's even more ghosts waiting for you. The goal is ultimately very simple. You complete your laps within a set time, and the game is all about shaving off those seconds. The reason it's all so good though really comes down to a few things. Firstly, the handling and camera work. This is basically perfect. The feeling of sliding around corners is unbelievable in this game. Like, the second you pick up the controller, you will be in awe at just how satisfying and nice this feels to control. Yes, there's a learning curve, but holy heck, even right from the start, it's an absolute blast to play. Then there's the track designs themselves, which are all wildly creative and fun to race on, including unexpected gimmicks here, such as a sudden power outage during one of them, complete with per vertex style dynamic lighting, which is oh so 90s. All of this is combined with intentionally mid-90s distorted looking 3D graphics designed to resemble a theoretical Sega Saturn game. Now, I get it, the look may not be for everyone, but their goal was certainly met, and on something like the Steam Deck it looks really darn nice, plus it runs at higher frame rates. Everything that is wrapped up in a wildly enjoyable ska soundtrack that just breathes this feeling of joy and delightfulness into an already wonderful game. So, if like me you enjoy arcade style racing action and you haven't played this one yet, You gotta check it out. It's an absolute masterpiece of arcade-style racing, which is why it makes the list here at number 6.
A case like this.
That's hard to connect.
Presenting the Brad Show.
Round 1. Ready,
Will ruin your
go!
iPhone 60. And here's why. Apple's iPhone.
Nintendo is known for producing some of the best 3D fighting games in the world. You know, the era of Tekken and Soul Calibur. That's what Tekken 8 reminds me of. In fact, this is the Tekken I've been wanting since Tekken 5 released on PlayStation 2 nearly 20 years ago. Everything released since
Round
has
2.
certainly been good,
Ready,
but not
go!
quite good enough. In my mind, Tekken 8 obliterates it. First, the core fighting is just perfect. It's refined, yet still decidedly Tekken. What more can I say about this? The roster is massive, the execution feels great, and that moment-to-moment fisticuffs gameplay is the best it's been in years. Yeah, the rage arts are perhaps a little too long at times for my tastes, but overall, I feel such a blast playing through it over the last year. Whenever friends visit, we inevitably pull out a couple sticks or controllers and rumble in Tekken 8. But when I reference those classic Namco games, I'm not just talking about the core fighting itself, rather the content as a whole. You see, Tekken 8 is packed with modes. For starters, it has not one, but 2 story modes filled with cutscenes and unique scenarios, one of which was added for free after launch, by the way. It also has a full mode focused on conquering arcades as an avatar, going around the country playing Tekken basically. There's also a normal arcade mode, there's practice modes, Tekken Ball, the Fight Lounge, and a lot more. In addition, Tekken 8 includes nearly every single Tekken soundtrack in series history, including both arcade and home console variants. You can then take that music and assign it to whatever stage you like. It's honestly nuts. Really though, this is just scratching the surface. There's just so much stuff packed in here, it's astounding. In addition, the game itself looks fantastic with top-notch character models and cool backgrounds to fight on, and it always runs at a silky smooth 60 frames per second. I primarily played the game on PC actually, but it's really good on every single console. Thanks to modern consoles though, loading times are also super quick. The long waiting times of Tekken 6 and 7 are gone. Of course, in Namco tradition, the soundtrack is filled to the brim with bangers.
Fight!
All in all, much like Ace Combat 7 many years ago, Tekken 8 feels like this perfect blend of both the old and the new, resulting in a truly exceptional package in the process. If you enjoy 3D fighting games like this, you gotta play Tekken 8. In fact, it's my personal favorite fighting game of the last 10 years. That's why it comes in at number 5.
Laptop rage. Yes. I know. I know. Lag. Lag. Lag.
Try Chromebook Plus with faster performance. And now with Gemini, an AI assistant from Google, chat to start writing, learning, and more.
We know. Get the best of Google AI free for 12 months on Chromebooks. Curry's beyond expectations.
The Great Circle enters the great list here at number 4. Yes, another latecomer in the year, Machine Games' latest title might just be its best yet. In fact, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle might just be one of the best attempts at a licensed game in the history of the medium. So perfectly does it capture that sense of adventure and cinema that you expect from Indiana Jones that it's almost hard to believe it's even real. Fundamentally, this is Machine Game. Drake's adventures in Uncharted have often been compared to Indiana Jones. It's actually very, very different. Sure, sometimes Indy has to pull out a pistol, but most of the films really just follow his antics around the world in pursuit of rare artifacts, while engaging with that world around him, often through discussion or simple exploration, which is basically how the game works. I loved exploring each locale, getting to know its layouts while dealing with all the various challenges around you. The maps are very open-ended, yet avoid the typical open-world design issues by and large, while the encounters themselves are usually a lot of fun and often go in unexpected directions. Sneaking around, taking out enemies quietly, and figuring out how to proceed is very satisfying. Of course, it's also a beautiful game with ray-traced lighting on every platform, but of course it really comes alive on a powerful PC with the full ray tracing mode engaged. It's a fantastic technical showcase, but that tech is thankfully used to strengthen the visual design for the game world rather than just serving as a simple checkbox. Hey, we have ray tracing. It's not just that. And I know some were skeptical that the game largely takes place in first person, yet somehow the spirit of indie is alive throughout. A lot of this comes down to the amazing and rather authentic voice performance by Troy Baker, who does somehow manage to sound